I swear, the stuff that comes in my mind in the beginning of the show, I just need to have a better starting spit. I promise you guys, I'm working on it for my soul. Ruda. Awesomest intros, which probably be boring and simple. And you ever had it? Welcome to another Burn Live show, aka Goodnight Kapeash, where we talk about anything that we fucking feel like it. I know I'm supposed to not cuss within the first 5 minutes of the YouTube channel, but guess what? I'm a little teed up. So hell, shit, hell, and shit. My bad. Okay. Now I got that small little rant out the way. I have been sitting back and watching a bunch of Jesse Lee Peterson videos of him talking with different people and stuff like that. And my lady's been watching some of these videos and stuff like that. It's been funny. Kind of remind me of, I'm saying, some of the things that the black community deal with and something that we don't want to accept that's out there because yet again, we looking at this so-called systemic value that's out there that's racist that yeah can't just point a finger, and it makes me go back to what the beginning of my slogan of this year was supposed to be all about, ladies and gentlemen. Boogeyman versus monster. Definition: boogeyman, a person, place, or thing that you cannot find or you cannot point at. And then a monster is a person, place, or thing that you can point at that does exist. And I trust me or don't trust me. Matter of fact, don't trust me at all when I say that racism is the best boogeyman dosage out there. Also, this other word that I know is a little triggering to people, but phobia is another word that I just, hey, I just believe a lot of people have definitely took that word and stretched it like Stretch Armstrong. You stretched it like a person counting 50 cents out of pennies and put it in the penny roll and think they got 2 quarters. I think it's very stretched out. Just my opinion. That's my opening rant. And I keep looking at this video where it says Donald Trump is a Hitler. And this was 5-month video up by Jesse Peterson. And I can just imagine the hilarious things that's probably coming out of his mouth. I would like to go over it with my ladies so we can have a little shits and giggles and shits, pause it and discuss it, and definitely get our reaction to it. And I want to get out of this boring part of me and get back into telling jokes like I normally do. So I think this might help. No, I don't try to get this. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Jesse Lee Peterson.
Professor, associate professor of religion and gender studies at USC. Are you a Christian?
Yes.
You're a Christian. What is gender studies?
So gender is something that it's a key part of a person's identity, and it's not something. It's the same as with race. It's not something you choose. It's something.
Did we notice the accent, mate? We didn't pay attention to that. And also, she's going to tell us about American feminist racism, and just kind of bloody hell cares if she's American, mate. Just bloody hell Dunkin' Donuts and Cheerio out coffee, mate.
They don't drink coffee over there. They drink tea. I'll drink all the coffee for all of us, okay?
And brew. They may drink tea, but it got to be a mate over there that drinks a little coffee.
They don't really have coffee over there.
They don't have coffee. Well,
not really. It's mostly tea.
I don't. I believe you.
That you are faced with, it's changeable, but it's a social identity.
But we
and
only have
individuals in society have to negotiate.
We only have two genders, and that male and female, right? And so you teach about those two things, male versus female, or male and female. Am I right about that?
Yes.
There's no other gender, right?
Well, gender is actually a rather flexible thing. No, not all Western culture is a culture like you get a form, it says male, it says female,
Right.
you tick one. But there are some cultures which actually do have more than one gender.
You know, I wanted to ask you about the nasty women rally they had in Washington, D.C. and around the country. Were you a part of any of that?
I went to the Women's Rally here in LA.
Oh, you did? The women there was really, really dirty. You know, you had Madonna dreaming about blowing up the White House. You had women wearing these pink hats.
I'd have loved to have had one, but I didn't have time to make one.
And they're supposed to represent the vagina or something, right? Those hats. Did you want to wear a vagina hat on your head?
You know, there's various stories about that. I think that the hats haven't really.
They
got
said
anything to do with
vagina.
it. It's from Wyatt. I
right.
think that's. But it's. If I'd have been able to get one, because I think it was a way of saying, look, we women are here. We are not going to allow our reproductive rights to be taken away. That was one of the major focuses.
But the way normal people saw that, they saw these women as being men haters, you know, family hating, abortion, LGBT, homosexual kind of women. And they displayed themselves in a way where a normal man would never consider marrying them or even associating with them because they were so gross in those rallies.
Look, I was on the streets that day, and there were 750,000 folk here in LA on the street.
Right.
It was amazing, and like these were all sorts of people. I mean,
I know, but it was dirty people.
No,
you had Black Lives Matter. You had the radical homosexuals. You had the LGBT.
You think Black Lives Matter is a nasty thing?
Yes, they are worse than the KKK.
You think that Black Lives Matter? So you don't think that Black Lives Matter?
That they need to be gotten rid of. They're worse than the KKK, and we're going to tolerate Black Lives Matter.
You think that Black Lives Matter is?
I wish we would have watched that video on her, so I can go into little definitions of what I'm going to say now. You might have to go back. I might have to find it, but the real reason why you were heard Jesse Lee Peterson, and I really picked up on what he said and what he meant by the KKK was put together to stop Black people from getting inside the Democratic Party so they can stop voting, so they can stop moving the needle at a large rate. That's why the Democratic Party switched their whole program and realized how indebascent it was to their party to use them after trying to get rid of them so much, because yet again, everything that they pushed for, they was like, dang, these people are trying to stop us. So if they're trying to stop us, how about we switch up the program and be for them, and yet again make programs. And Jesse Lee Peterson explained this in a whole nother video of the four of reasons. He gave basically legit reasons of why racism does not exist, and where it was more prejudice towards a group of people for not moving the needle for political stance, not the color of your skin.
It's a very radical, agitative, evil organization that is built of radical black lesbians and
but it's
radical
particularly about protecting
black
young black
homosexuals.
men.
No, they never went into the black areas at all.
Well,
black on black crime out of control, and the only thing they did was.
Sound like you.
Who needs more protected, men or women? My love.
It depends on who you ask.
I'm asking you.
I think women need more protection.
So you think women need more protection? So Black Lives Matter, what she said, they was here to protect men. Now, to me, and from what you just said, it sounds like y'all agenda was in the wrong place. Should have been out there to protect black women more than black men. Just my opinion, and going off of what you just said, who needs more protection, men or women? Just I'll throw that out.
Sound like, look, black on black crime, this idea that black on black crime is out of control. Yes, black communities have problems, but actually crime is down in the United States.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
If anywhere where crime
Well, you need
is
to send that
rising,
notice to Chicago.
is in white communities.
So that's why one of the reasons I say that Black Lives Matter is worse than the KKK, because they're encouraging hatred rather than love. What did you?
There are lots of folk involved in Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is a movement that has come out of the black community, but it's made alliances with lots of groups. If you actually see black,
all evil groups though, not with good people.
The thing is, you say they're not with good people, but like these are the ordinary folks of America and California. These are people of all ages, all races, all genders, all classes. It's about people coming together to build something better.
But would ordinary people chant in a rally, what do we want? Dead cops, when do we want it now? Pigs in the blanket, fry them like bacon. And right after that, some folks go out and start killing cops.
Look,
would ordinary people do that?
Black Lives Matter.
But as to that though, would ordinary people do that?
In any political movement, you're always going to have the loonies around.
No, these were the heads of it.
But these are not the people who are the heads of it.
No, I've interviewed them. Take my word, it was.
Yeah, well, this sounds, you sound a bit like Mr. Trump.
Thank you.
Take my word on this.
Yeah.
Even though nobody in Black Lives Matter has been the leadership has ever said anything like.
So you would have won.
Was that her impression of my boy?
I guess so.
That's my boy?
Yep. I agree with her.
Ladies and gentlemen, people, y'all, they know they just fucked up, right? I can't wait to start doing my impressions of Trump. Nah, I do a good job. I do it well. Nobody do it better than me. I'm the best. Okay. Sound like an old Count Dracula. Ain't drink no more blood no more. Sound like our fangs don't work. They don't drink. They can't drink blood. No.
Had you had a hat, you would have worn it in public at the Dirty Women rally.
You call the dead, but like there were all sorts of folks.
But they're all dirty.
They weren't all dirty. I like, like some of the people
You're not
I
telling
saw
me
there.
yes. You don't look like a lady.
There were nuns in habits. There was a local Catholic parish that sent its group to this march, not to the other. Some people from that. There were all sorts of people.
But dirty people. But you tell me yes or no. You would have worn a hat in public.
I would have worn a pussy hat in public.
You would. You're a professor.
For the march. I'm not going to necessarily.
What point would you have wanted to make with that hat?
It was a just as any symbol. When you go on a march, it's a way of symbolizing that you are part of the march and part of.
I know, but you're a Christian and you teach Christianity.
And
Christianity is a noble religion. It's like the light of the world, the salt of the earth. And we're in a
totally off subject, but somebody need to tell me and explain to me when did brown and pink ever go together? Huh? Totally
right now.
Noble religion. It's like the light of the world, the salt of the earth. And wearing a hat is not the light of the world.
Christianity is also about justice. Fundamentally about justice. Look, it may be that I'm a Roman Catholic.
Right. That's
so
why I expect more from you.
I believe, but Roman Catholics, we don't all agree on the same things. But the one thing that joins most Roman Catholics together is our commitment to social justice, to preserving the planet, and to providing justice for all.
That's new. Roman Catholics haven't always been that way.
No, precisely.
They have allowed the cat women to get in there and mess it up.
Well, if that's the way you want to think about it, yes. I mean, hey, I would go with that.
Amazing, as they say, as he hasn't said.
Right, you haven't said anything.
I just thought there was going to be a little bit more action, towards that. That was a good start. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was a good start. I do got another one, y'all. Got another one. Hold on. Got another one over here for us. The one that that one where they was about to get started. It was like, hey. Where's my boy? Now, a lot of the internet. You want to go back to this one?
I don't remember watching. Yeah, that one was funny. That one was funny.
I like this facial expression right here because this, and I'm talking about my orange haired guy over here. This is
red.
Definitely orange, red, purple, green, whatever. I feel like this is how he feels by the end of the show. This is a perfect facial expression of how this interview is going to go. So that's why I started off right here, ladies and gentlemen.
30,000 times.
Well, have you seen the people call him king? They hold rallies.
Because there's a lot of people that are stupid in this country that are ill-informed. What do you want me to tell you? I mean, there's a lot of people in this country. I talk to them every day. They're very ignorant people. They're stupid, and they don't understand this man is a con man.
How does it feel that you go to school, you go to college, you go to work, you heard this information every day like everybody else, and you have your opinion about it. Now, the things that are facts that you bring up are facts. You can't deny facts. People should not ignore facts. I believe in that heavily. Even if it's against what I believe in, I cannot ignore facts. Okay. But to know that a person called you stupid and thought of you as a very ignorant and dumb person for the simple fact that he disagreed because you are a Trump supporter or you are for the Republican Party and you would not denounce any Israel or Hamas or anything over there that's going on. That's got to be mind blowing. It's got to be.
And he's given the biggest tax breaks to the top 1%. He's got us into an ill-advised war.
Tax break to the 1%. Still, it's in a big, beautiful bill, right? And I need you to do me a favor because if I'm not mistaken, and I need correction, the big, beautiful bill has not technically been put into place.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be signed. Oh, it was signed on July 4th.
So
No. No. It said Trump's second term agenda signed into law on July 4th, 2025. But that can't be right because
go to Gemini. Is the big, beautiful bill signed into office yet?
Let me check that for you. Yes, it has already been signed into law. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act was signed on July 4th, 2025.
And when does it take effect?
Many provisions of the bill have already taken effect, but others are being phased in over time. For instance, certain higher education regulations just came into effect on July 1st, 2026, and other parts like new work requirements for Medicaid are set to start in 2027. Is there a specific part of the bill you are curious about?
No, just curious how this bill is working because yet again, everybody's just going to keep, you know what, I'm not talking to you. Everybody keeps saying about this big, beautiful bill and the 1% getting this tax. And yet again, I got to get back focused on teaching my channel about taxes and how taxes work and tax brackets and different taxes. And it's actually another channel that specifically breaks down finances that I want to start bringing over here to my channel and discussing too. I think it'd be funny. Now, some things we're not going to like because, you know, we're not up here wanting to see people get degraded and down putted. But yet again, one thing we're going to stand on over here, facts is facts. We can't deny facts. Okay.
He's a horrific human being. And by the way, the presidency isn't for a king. The president is king. So anybody who looks up to him like the next Messiah is in a cult.
So
I don't know what else to tell you.
When you see those people holding the rallies around the country, honoring Donald Trump, what do you think about that? And these people like Democrats, they're liberals, they're radicals, and they still hold rallies called a king. What do you say to that?
Well, I went to those No Kings rallies, if that's what you're referring to.
Yes.
And there's a reason his approval ratings are in the dumpster. There's a reason why he's fired a lot of people because he doesn't know how to hire competent people. There's a reason why the midterms are going to be a bloodbath of Republicans. It's because Donald Trump is a failure. I mean, you tell me, what has he done positive here in this year and a half? What has he done good for the American people?
He shut down the borders.
Okay, so let's talk about immigration. Let's do one at a time. Let's talk about immigration. Do you think it's proper for somebody that's been in this country 20 or 30 years, that's a nonviolent criminal, to be sent to an El Salvador prison with no due process? You think that's good immigration policy?
They're here illegally and they commit a crime, absolutely. But if they're here illegally and where they have committed a crime by being here illegally, he should ship them back home. Do you agree to that? He should ship the illegals back.
He's not doing that.
No,
but he's not doing that.
I asked, do you agree that he should ship the illegals back?
Are you talking about violent criminals or nonviolent criminals?
No, I'm talking about the people that are here illegally. Should he ship
so I'll
them
answer
back?
that. I'll answer that. So first of all, let's start with violent illegal criminals.
I know,
100%.
but wait, just slow down for a minute, Brian. Brian, hold on. You agree with me that the Great White Hope should ship the ones that are here illegal back to wherever they came from, right?
Well, first of all, he's not white, he's orange. So let's be categorically correct. He's the Orange Hope. If you want to call him the Orange Hope, he's not even white. He's orange. Number two, I don't agree with deporting people that if they're undocumented. If they've lived here for decades and they're nonviolent criminals and they have families here, there has to be some sort of pathway to citizenship for many of these people. So I guess the answer is no.
And
the Trump administration is breaking the...
Hold on a minute. We're going to get to all those issues. If somebody moved into your home illegally and you were out of the country, whatever, you came back and they've been there for a year and they appear to be good citizens, would you leave them? You would let them stay in your home?
No. Yeah, so I'll answer that. First of all, terrible analogy with respect. Breaking into somebody's home is a felony. Coming into the country illegally is a misdemeanor.
He said bad analogy. Breaking into your home is a felony. Again, you're out of country, so you don't even know they broke into your home. They done got paperwork and deeds up, which that's starting to be a big thing. They're starting to be good as like the ring door camera is showing squatters squatting in homes because people are out of the town and out of the country for very long time, taking good vacations. So when he asked, would you be okay if somebody breaking into your home illegally? And then when you get back from out of town and they're good citizens, they've been working, they kept your house nice and neat and then broke nothing. Would you think that that person should stay? That's just a good question.
How?
No, it's not. How do you not know that?
It's breaking the law.
How could you do a show?
But
how could you do a show and not know that? Hold on a second. You just said it's a felony to be in this country illegally.
But it's illegal to come into the country illegally.
Okay, it's a misdemeanor.
Yeah, right.
I understand. It's a misdemeanor.
And so when you live in your home,
it's a felony to break into somebody's home, but what is it to squat in somebody's home?
It's a felony.
No, it's not.
It depends on the state. Yes, it is.
Thank you. Depends on the state.
If you're squatting, you had to break in to get in, so there's a felony. So you're getting a felony and a misdemeanor.
After they gotta go through all the legal allegations to get you out. And hopefully they can catch you because they're gonna wait till you sleep and deal.
Breaking into someone's home is a felony. It's not a misdemeanor. We're talking about two separate crimes. The answer is no. If you break into somebody's home, it's a felony. If you come into the country illegally, it's a misdemeanor. That's a false analogy you're giving me.
But they're still
Give me an example of a misdemeanor.
Right. Why would you let them stay in your home? They're good people.
So you want people held to account for breaking the law? Is that what you're saying?
I want them held to account for breaking into
What about a 34 count?
Hold on.
Then why would you?
I want them held to account for breaking into my
Yeah.
country illegally. Is that fair?
Okay. You want them held to account for breaking into your country illegally.
Yes.
You want people held to account for breaking the law, then why would you support a 34 count
No,
felon?
that's not
You're
the question, Brian. Am I
well,
wrong?
you're contradicting yourself.
Am I wrong for wanting them to be sent back for breaking into my country illegally into America?
Not if they're deported illegally.
What?
Not if they're deported illegally. Are you aware the guy who you support?
Brian, I don't understand the question.
Well,
I
understand. I'm going to try to
ask you one specific question first.
I'm trying to answer your question.
Am I wrong for wanting them to be and appreciating the fact that they're being sent back for breaking into the country illegally? Is that wrong?
The way Donald Trump is doing it is wrong. You're not describing it correctly.
Not
it's not that he's deporting these people back to their countries.
That's not the question, Brian.
You're not answering.
Is it wrong?
Okay. So you're saying if they're deported by the law, is that what you're asking me? If they're being deported the right way, you're asking me if I agree or disagree, or if that's okay? Is that what you're asking me?
Is it wrong to have them sent back to their country for breaking into the country illegally? Is that wrong to send them back?
Is this a real hard question? Must be that hard, huh? Trump deranged syndrome, which is new. It's a new term.
Did you just make it up?
No, it's actually a term that's been diagnosed since Trump's been getting.
You can't diagnose something if you are a medical professional.
I didn't diagnose this. This is not me. This is not something that I just made up right now.
Y'all can't be making up stuff because it better suit you, because most of you Republicans don't believe
and yet again,
in mental health.
We just don't come up with words like Democrats do. That's one thing.
That you just said you guys came up with something.
This diagnosis has been professionally sound.
You cannot diagnose somebody without a medical.
So you are correct. So you don't think that a medical person has came out and said this?
No.
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 See, so may I finish?
It's made up.
By a psychologist.
It's made up.
By a psychologist. That's the big difference. Who made it up? A psychologist made up that word. Diagnosing the difference of the reaction to the president of people that don't like him. And when you see people that don't like the guy, is everything that he does, they don't like. Not just the same thing that you're going to stick your guns to and be like, yes, that's what I don't like. I'm going to stand on that's what I'm like. But even the good things that the man does is like, I don't like. We got to find something wrong. Like, that's crazy. But then, you know, I guess people that call us, I can't say the word on here, I guess we just be in a cult, as they would say. If I can say that. And let's look at Peterson break down religion. We went to Black Lives Matter. We went to.
Okay, wait a second.
What's
Don't play it unless we're going to finish it, please.
Are you into this? Or because
don't play that one because I told you I wanted to watch that. Don't play that unless you're going to watch it all the way through.
Where
please,
then? Let's watch it. Let's go.
There are 11 other tribes.
So the Israelite tribe is a part of the original Jews.
No, just to say it properly, the Israelites are the 12 tribes: Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Gad, Manasseh, Ephraim. It's 12 tribes of Israel. So you may see the term Jew, but that only encompasses one tribe or one kingdom. But there's two kingdoms: Southern Kingdom, Northern Kingdom. So to put it in proper context,
the two kingdoms. 12 tribes. And I hope that he talks about the scriptures that you have to be a part of to become this religion.
The Israelites of today are the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in North, Central, and South America, as well as those that are in Africa, Europe, and Asia, the other continents across.
Why did you guys, out of all the religions to choose, why did you choose to be a Jew rather than a Christian or Muslim or something else? Why did you pick Jew?
Well, Christ, the greatest alpha male to ever exist. When you think of an alpha male, Christ is the one you think of.
Right.
And one of the things he said in John 8:32 is say, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." So every Black person goes into what makes them feel good. So it's good to say I'm a Christian or God-like, so to speak, but it doesn't require you to follow any moral codes of ethics. Us being Israelites is not something that we chose to be. It's who we were born as. Our identity was just taken away from us when we came over here in slavery. So in slavery, we came over here, then we had a slave Bible. Then we had what you would say the women's version of the Bible. Then you had some freemen like W.E. Du Bois gave an excellent write-up where he wrote about the freedman.
But he was a communist. You shouldn't like him. He was a communist. He hated his country. He moved to Africa, denounced his citizenship, and he died over there. He was a loser.
But what country did he hate?
America.
What's wrong with that?
If you are the
America's
Jews,
not
you
a
can't
country
hate because you represent God, and God is not of hate.
Well, if God is not of hate, we celebrate a Passover every year, which is about the death of Egyptian babies. Is that love or hate?
I want to get to this. So you're a sector of the original Jews, a tribe of the original Jews.
Right, but original Jews is an improper context you keep using. And I know you Black and slow. That's why I keep correcting you when you come back and say original Jews.
Right.
Because just one tribe.
Yeah, I am Black and slow. That's why I'm trying to break it down. So if I can understand it, anybody will be able to understand it.
Absolutely.
Did the Israelites did you come here as a result of the wealthy Black selling the poor Blacks to the Arabs? And did they bring you here from Israel or did they bring you here from Africa?
No, we actually came from the west coast of Africa. And the common misnomer is that Black people sold Black people.
No, it's not. That's true.
It is. Well, no, actually, it's not true.
No, I know for a fact it's true.
Well, let me educate you. Since you say you Black and slow, let me be the one to educate you. Your skin tone doesn't make you who you are. You have Arabs that have brown skin. Right. You have East that have brown skin. So just because an African, a Black person has brown skin does not make them the same. So when we was in the west coast of Africa, how we even got there in 70 AD, we fled into Africa. So we lived amongst Africans, but we were not Africans. That's why you could find maps that would say land of Judah in the
Did he or did he not say we started off in West Africa? So we're going to start off in West Africa, but we're not Africans. But see, this is why people get mad at me. They're like, you pick words because, damn it, words have meanings. And when you say you started somewhere, hell, let me not cuss. But when you start somewhere, I could have sworn that's where you started from. That means I didn't start nowhere else. I started here in West Africa. And we're pointing at West Africa, and sure, it may have a different name because they probably have different countries in West Africa, but you're still African. Because you were born from there.
The middle of Africa. So when the so-called white man came to find slaves, it wasn't Africans selling Africans. It was Africans selling Israelite people and bringing us over here into captivity. Harriet Tubman, as
Only Israel.
As an example, she was an Israelite. Her family were raised as Israelites. She had an Israelite name. So what I was telling you in the beginning, the information of being an Israelite was very small when we first came into America. And then in the early 1900s, Black people started waking up to who they were. The organization that I'm in was established in 1969, where we was to begin to get the full knowledge of real Black history. When I say real Black history, they call it the Dark Ages in Europe, but the Dark Ages was a time when Black people ruled Europe. So when you go into the real history, you'll see King James was Black. He was not a white guy. You'll see his whole lineage of kings were Black people. They were not white people. An excellent book to get is The Russian Icons, where they'll show you the real images of all of the ancient kings in Europe. And then you'll see that they weren't white guys. They were called Black people. Excuse me, they were Black people, what you would call them today. And then they had the Renaissance era, where they took the greatest alpha male to exist, Jesus Christ, and turned him into a beta, which was Caesar Borgia, who was a homosexual himself, who was in love with his sister Lucretia, who they made the image of Lucretia to be Mary. And that became the Renaissance era. So all of that history that was taken away from Black people in the Israelite School of UPK, we give that history back. Now I can continue what I was saying. The purpose of ISUPK is to give Black people their true identity. You can't get anywhere being something that you're not. If you become a Christian, you're going to subject yourself to the Christians of today, which is the so-called white man, and then they become your rulers. So if we look up to a white God, so to speak, and then we look at the oppression that the so-called white man has given us, we'll recognize that that's oppressive, what they're doing, but we won't separate from them as we should because we believe that's our God. So now we realize Christ was a Black man like you and I, and that the God of Christ and the God of us wants us to follow those law, statute, commandments to repent from the evil that we're doing, then we can overcome it. Because the white man.
I swear he talking for 3 whole minutes.
What is our time?
I don't know. I'm blind as a bat. But Lord, did we learn anything on that? It's funny how they keep saying we were sold by a white man, where he was sold by a white people. Caucasians came, like Arabs, Arabians, Iran, and people ain't over there next to Africa. Like they don't correlate with each other. I'm not even gonna say it because it's not my word. Well, damn.
Finish your point.
Yeah.
Because the white man what?
Because the white man did put us in slavery, but God is more powerful than slavery. So we don't need the white man to get us out of slavery. We just need him to leave us alone so we can come back to our identity, follow the Most High, and then we won't have to worry about the bondage that we're in.
Amazing.
That's what ISUBK teaches.
Oh, okay. And so over in Africa, before the Arabs brought you people over here, you were enslaved by other Blacks.
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't necessarily say that we were enslaved.
But you were.
No, you won't. You'll find points. Well, if you're talking about from a biblical perspective, there are different times in the Bible where we were enslaved.
By other Blacks, right?
No.
Yeah. Well, no, there were no white people over in Mommy Africa in that area where they enslaved you guys.
I got you. But there were Egyptians, there were Ethiopians, there were Assyrians. Those are not, again, as you say, you Black and slow, you keep using Black as a blanket term. But Africans, for example, they don't call themselves Black. They don't call themselves African American because they make a distinction. Black people in America do not make a distinction between Blacks and Blacks in Africa. They'll make, and here's how you know they suffer from lack of knowledge, as the Bible say, Hosea 4:6, because they will make a distinction between Black Arabs or Black East Indians. But when it comes to Africans, they make it seem like we're all Black. We're not the same people. Your skin, there's a book called The Black Image in the Minds of Whites. And in that book, the white man studied our brain and studied our archaeology and said that we were not the Africans that they portray us to be. It's just that those books, you know, the greatest thing to hide from a black person is knowledge in a book.
The best place to hide money from black people is in a book.
No, I wouldn't say the money, but
They ain't gonna open the book, so the money is safe.
Well, money is not what plagues black people, because black people have money. You know how I know black people have money?
How?
Dealers make millions of dollars off of drug addicts.
Who does that?
Drug dealers.
Oh, drug dealer. Let me ask, where is your God?
He's on his throne.
And where's the throne?
In heaven.
And where is the heaven?
Well, so in our slang, we may say the fourth dimension, but that's a place where the Most High is on his throne and Christ is on the right hand of his throne.
If black people were truly the real Israelites, and that would have meant that they would have had the mindset of God, right?
If you believe in magic.
What happened to them that they didn't see the Arabs coming to enslave them and bring them to America and other parts of the world? Why were they not smart enough to recognize that?
The same reason.
And this happened before they got to America. Why were they not smart enough to recognize if they were truly the original Israelites?
I'm going to tell you why. The same reason that they couldn't see that with the Arabs and the Africans to sell them is the same reason that they believe Joe Biden would be a better president than Donald Trump.
And what's that reason?
Because we're slow.
Blacks are slow.
And people talk about me and say that I be self-hating. That sounds self-hating. And under the term that y'all say, that sounds very self-hating, for the simple fact that he sit up here and say that his Israelites that kept getting captured by Arabs, Caucasians, everybody but blacks, even though they was in a black continent country, that's just like man, just if you're black and you hide in the dark, can anybody see you?
Yes.
Thank you. So, if I seen you Israelites coming, and I'm an Israelite and I'm coming to a new land, well, how am I going to trust the people that I'm coming amongst? Because they are brand new. But yet again, you said these people sold you. Arabs from a whole nother part of the continent, a different part of the continent, came to your neck of the woods where you migrated from or migrated to, and sold you to some people that was less melanated than you, and brought you to, because y'all slow, but you want to represent them so damn bad. And that's the image that man just put it. And if you think I'm wrong, sorry, but you need to rewind it and listen to what that man just said and how he just ended, and you see it at the bottom right there, because I paused that nicely where he said, and slow. Just don't think that I want to be part of it. Don't want to be captured again. Don't want to be slow again. Don't want to be colonized again. I got a longer rant, but I'm gonna just go a little bit further because we're almost done with the show.
Slow?
Because let me explain. Because you said we're black and slow again from the
Well, I
biblical
didn't say
narrative.
all y'all. I'm saying I'm black and slow. Y'all might be smart.
Well, you notice I always say we, right? Because I never like to take it off of me. It makes it more personal to say we're black and slow. I don't want us to be black and slow. So I don't want you to be black and slow no more. I want you to be smart.
Too late.
So from the biblical narrative, even when we came out of Egypt and we got into the land of Israel, what did we do at that time? We started joining the other nations, disobeying the Most High. That's why when you asked your question about shouldn't we know, I said, yes, if you believe in magic. The Bible is not magic. When we're giving them law, statutes, commandments, it's up to us to keep those commandments. But what do we always do? We're envious of the nations around us. So during the time of Africa, before we came over here in slavery, we began to be just like the Africans, just like the Arabs, and we left our power. In the Israelite School UPK, we teach our people to come back to God, to come back to their true power, to leave an African God alone, to leave a white God alone. So now when an enemy comes, and I use the presidential election as an example, everybody looked at Trump like he was the greatest racist to ever exist. Like there was not a racist white guy before Trump came along. And then Biden come along, he's the great white hype. And nobody looks at the video where Biden says he loves black children because he's used to black roaches, like playing with roaches. And so he...
My boy Sleepy fucking Joe said that about me. About me? A little African me. I'm a roach. Sleepy Joe. The best. I wear my sunglasses and my that's fucked up.
Because he's used to black roaches, like playing with roaches. And so he explains black children as roaches. But because he sounds slicker or better than Trump, because Trump doesn't sound as racist as Biden, they look at Biden as the way to be the answer. In Israelite School UPK, you'll recognize that both of them are devils. Both of them are deceivers.
Amazing.
There is no power that can be over us except the Most High. Christ is our king. So why would we vote for anybody to be president over us when God gave us Christ as king?
Why did the black men allow themselves over the last 70 years, because it wasn't that way, where it was that way in Africa, where the black women rule over the black men. And that's why Africa, one of the reasons Africa fell apart, became weak. In the United States of America, why are the black men allowing the black women to rule over them?
That's happening today. There's a lot of things. I did a lecture called, 2 lectures I did. One was called The Miseducation of the Black Woman, and one was The Cure for the Hatred Between the Black Man and the Black Woman. What the white man did in his grave, if you go before, I remember an interview I saw, and you talked about during Jim Crow, black people were better. That's correct, right, what you said?
They were moral, they got married. They didn't see white people as superior. They didn't feel that they were less or more than white people or anyone else. They did for themselves. They respected others. They loved their neighbors. They worked hard. They bought land. They did their thing.
I'm going to pause it right there because when Africans called white people superior, it wasn't because they were better. That's not what that meant. It's just because they had advanced things that Africans have not developed yet. A tough pill to swallow would be is to really sit up here and say, okay, let's go back to the 1800s. Let's simply look at what was developed and what was established in Africa, a whole continent. And unfortunately, I hate to say this, let's go to a smaller European area and see what was established in the 1800s. And I promise you, you're going to see a big difference of establishment. Now, where everybody's going to say, hey, the white people did it the wrong way. They beat and enslaved and and which is probably so untrue. I'm going to give everybody 2 thumbs up on that factual thing. They probably did all of that. But when you go to another country and they hunt with sticks all day, and then this white man or this Caucasian or whatever you want to call it, which I want to go into something else later on for another episode. Really got to break people down in these continents. Just despicable. But yet again, a white man comes, sees that same animal and say, hey, and it falls right there. It's like we didn't have to wait. We didn't have to go hunting. We didn't have to go look at blood trails. That's establishing something that a whole continent didn't have. Okay? That's what they meant by superior. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, anytime that you're watching this. I appreciate that y'all having a good day. I'm out. Good night.
This motherfucker is locked. Talking, I'm in love,